the answers to life's biggest questions are hidden in plain sight. Let's uncover them together. Welcome to the Divine Sorcerer, where we bridge the gap between science and spirit. Join me on a journey through iatromathematics, witchcraft, alchemy, biochemistry, and astrology. We'll explore the ancient and the modern, the mystical and the scientific. But this isn't just about what I've learned. It's about opening your mind to new possibilities and challenging the conventional wisdom you've been taught. We're diving into controversial topics and offering fresh perspectives, aiming to elevate your consciousness and spark your curiosity. From the wonders of the cosmos to the secrets of ancient texts, we'll uncover the hidden knowledge that can transform the way you see the world. So, are you ready to embark on this enlightening adventure? Hit that subscribe button and join the Divine Sorcerer community, where we explore the unknown and rise to a higher state of understanding. Let's unlock the secrets of the universe, one discovery at a time. See you in the next video. Stay curious, stay enlightened.
All right. And I think everybody can see me. I'm moving, right? Yeah. All right. Good deal. That was kind of a little journey. All right. Now that I'm back. Tonight we're going to talk about the principle of gender, the Hermetic principle of gender. It's our last principle. We went through the last 7 weeks, and covered the rest of the principles. And this is our last. Now, a lot of people are going to be upset, I guess you could say. Those that have a different mind frame, a way of thinking. It's probably going to offend some people, but this is reality. This is logic. This is the way that the principles are set in motion, and man can't play with these principles. So it's like the macrocosm and the microcosm. And we're going to get into that. We've talked about that briefly in the last couple principles about the as above, so below. Matter of fact, I think that was the second principle of correspondence. And if you're not quite clear or you're just joining us, you're more than welcome to go back to the principle of correspondence and watch it. And then you'll know what we mean by the as above, so below. And everything else should make sense. So we'll give it a few. Let people climb on in here. Sorry I was late, guys. I had a rough week. I was involved in a bite buy. Yeah, you heard it right. A bite buy. I got bit by a spider and that thing took off. It was a bite buy. Didn't get the license plate number of them things or nothing, man. I'm telling you, it was hell. Anyway, so I'm sitting here with a very sore leg. Um, I was contemplating whether I should come on tonight because it kind of hurts to just sit in this chair because it's on the back of my leg. But my mom ain't raised no damn pussy. It's just a fucking little spider bite. It's gonna take more than a spider to put me down, right? And so, yeah, that was a journey all in itself this morning. Let me tell you guys, when you live different from other people, you go to the emergency room, and what do they do at the emergency room, right? They check you out. You get a doctor's opinion, but then right away they want to get that little white pad out and they want to start writing scripts. Well, when somebody like me goes in there and I'm like, Doc, I just need an opinion. I don't need no pain pills. I don't need no antibiotics. I don't need anything. Well, sir, there's a red line going up your leg. Yeah, well, there's natural medicine too that will help that. And they just kind of look at you. Sorry, I don't do the pharmaceutical. I was a test subject for many, many years. I'm not going back into that circulation because I understand that Mother Nature will give me something. It's just a longer road, right? Now, if it comes down to where, the infection travels and I have to take some kind of pharmaceutical, well, then we'll talk about it at that point. It was a little spider. Black widow. She said it wasn't like a very poisonous, mild poisonous, but still enough to make my leg hurt. Like I told her, I said, yeah, it felt like somebody took a burning hot sledgehammer, like it just came out of the fire pit and whacked me in the back of the leg with it. That's what it kind of felt like. It fucking hurt. But anyway, that's why I'm late. Otherwise, I'd have been on earlier. And I'm sure it wasn't the spider's fault. Or maybe it was. But this is what happens when you coincide with nature, right? Sometimes these things happen. Thank God it wasn't a snake and it was only a spider. All right. And so the seventh principle, the principle of gender. Oh, I hope you guys can still hear me after I did that. You guys still hear me? Okay. All right. Good. When I game, I have to have headphones on. I had them plugged in. I didn't know if that messed with the voice or not. So we're all good. All right. So the seventh Hermetic principle of gender. According to the Kabbalah, and I'm sure if you guys been watching me, you guys know exactly what the Kabbalah is. It's all seven principles and the explanation. Very good book. If you guys don't have the Kabbalah, I suggest that you get a copy of it, read it. Um, and it probably wouldn't hurt you to instill these seven principles in your life as well, right? That's what I've been doing. And I've found life a lot more interesting. So gender is in everything. It's not just biological sex wise. Everything has its masculine and everything has its feminine principles. Gender manifests on all planes, not just us, not just this plane. Plane above, plane below, right? What we call the veils. Okay, some of us call them veils. So to truly master this principle, we must strip away modern, purely biological definitions of these words and look at them as cosmic energetic forces. In Hermeticism, gender does not mean biological sex. It means generation, creation, and reproduction. It represents the eternal cosmic dance between two fundamental priorities or polarities. One being the masculine, which would be projective, active, expressive, positive. The other one would be the feminine, and that would be the receptive, the magnetic, the in, integrative, and the negative. Yeah, yeah, because the male's positive, so negative. Yeah, right. And so the law of polarity in generation, when viewed through this energetic lens, the math of the universe becomes absolute. Like force interacting with life force produces stagnation, not generation. And so when you have male plus male, there's no creation. If you have two purely projective, active, outward pushing forces slamming into each other, you don't get creation, you get a collision, you get an explosion, an absolute resistance. Same thing with female versus female. You don't get no creation. You have two purely projective, active, outward pushing forces. Well, actually, it would be purely receptive in feminine. It would be receptive, magnetic, inward, not outward, right? Because male is outward, female is inward, drawing forces sitting together. You get total stillness, a vacuum, or an inertia. And so there is no spark because there is no gradient or polarity for the energy to flow between. Creation is never a solo act, and it is never a match of identical twins. It is always a marriage of opposites. That's why they always say, you hear the phrase, right? Opposites attract. All right. That's exactly what they're talking about. The projective force provides the spark, the direction, and the seed. The receptive force provides the space, the matrix, and the nourishment. It is only when the male positive and the female negative come together do the recipes of creation occur and close the circuit of manifestation. So the core foundation in like Hermetics and Alchemy, Hermetics, okay, would be the principle of gender is the engine of both the microcosm and the macrocosm. The masculine principle directs the conscious will or the forced energy toward the feminine principle. The feminine principle, which receives the impression and incubates the concept and manifests the actual creation across the mental, the spiritual, or the physical planes. Alchemy. This is the literal blueprint of the great work, the magnum opus, right? Alchemists work directly with the red king, the sulfur, the masculine, the solar, and the white queen, the mercury, the feminine, the lunar. Spiritual and physical alchemy is the precise process of purifying, separating, and ultimately marrying these two opposing forces, conjunction, to produce the philosopher's stone, the ultimate state of unified balance in creation. And so when it comes to the hard science, right? Physics, mechanics, thermodynamics, physics and quantum mechanics at the subatomic level, the universe refuses to be static, relying entirely on dualities. We talked about this in the second principle. Go back and watch that. We see gender in matter and antimatter, and in the foundational wave particle duality. The particle is localized, assertive, and measurable, masculine, while the wave is vast, infinite, and potential, and non localized, feminine. Electricity. Connect two positive terminals together or two negative terminals together, and nothing happens. The circuit is dead. It is only when the positive, the source, and the negative, the return, connect that an electrical gradient is established, current flows, and the light bulb then thus turns on. So in chemistry, gender is also in chemistry. Two positive ions repel each other. Two negative ions repel each other. It takes the positive charge of sodium, the Na, and the negative charge of chlorine, Cl, coming together to form a stable, entirely new creation, salt, NaCl. And so when we look at gender and we say, okay, and we go over to the laws of thermodynamics and the understandings of thermodynamics, the laws of thermodynamics govern the flow of energy, which naturally moves from hot to cold. The heat source acts as the projective, driving force, the masculine, while the sink or environment acts as the receptive, the matrix, that absorbs, disperses, and transforms that energy, being feminine, to achieve equilibrium, balance, male, female, balance. Consciousness and the microcosm, quantum physics and consciousness, right? Masculine and feminine in that as well, gender. Quantum consciousness, this field suggests that the human consciousness interacts directly with quantum states to collapse possibilities into reality. The observer, the masculine will, projects focus onto the quantum field of infinite potential, the female matrix, or the feminine matrix. Without the observer, the field remains a cloud of probabilities. Without the field, the observer has nothing to witness. Sacred geometry. Geometry is the visual mathematics of creation. Two parallel straight lines, male and male, will run alongside each other forever, never intersecting or enclosing space. Two empty circles with no center point to anchor them, female being female, just float in a void, but cross a straight line, vector, meaning masculine, directional, and force. Though a circular sphere, feminine, closure, and infinite space, and you instantly map out the coordinates for form, structure, and the visca piscis. Now, if you guys don't know what that is, one of my videos about a year ago, no, longer than that, it had to be about 4 or 5 years ago, because I was in the Academy of Sorcery. We talk about the symbolism and the occult knowledge and the visca piscis and the what's that called? The big tower thing. Yeah, all that, right? Go back. I can't remember what the name of it was. Exploring Sorcery or something like that. Good video though. And so without nope, we gotta go down more. But across straight line, the vector, the masculine, we go to the circle, the sphere, feminine space. You instantly map out coordinates for form, structure, and the visca pisca, the geometric womb of reality. What it is it's two circles, almost like a little slit, but it's two circles intersecting each other. That's the visca pisca, right? It's what they use to symbolize the geometric womb of reality. Now, the cosmic mirror, right? Astronomy, astrology, and iatromathematics, which you guys know I am a fanatic of iatromathematics, medical astrology. And so, in astronomy and astrology, the cosmos is mapped by these identical dualities. In astrology, planets and zodiac signs are fundamentally categorized as nocturnal, female, earth and water signs, or diurnal, masculine, fire and air signs. The constant cosmic dance of the sun, which is masculine, radiant, and projective, and then the moon, the feminine, reflective, and receptive, drives the rhythmic cycle of tides, growth, and time. So then we move from the astronomy and astrology to the iatromathematics, medical astrology, which is astrological medicine. This ancient discipline applies astrological timing and geometry to human health, viewing the body as a playground of cosmic gender. Disease is diagnosed as an imbalance where a masculine planet's heat, dryness, e.g., Mars causing inflammation, interacts poorly with the feminine organs, cold, moisture, requiring a mathematically timed remedy to restore the cosmic equilibrium within the flesh. So see how this is how they did it way back in the day, guys. It wasn't go to a doctor, get a little slip, and go buy what they call medicine, right? They went to a shaman or a medicine man, and they used things from the earth timed with cosmos. Why? Because when you're timed with the cosmos, synced with the rhythm of the earth, operating your chakras, opening your third eye, you are a very powerful being. Your intuition is much sharper. Your recognition of patterns is much sharper. Like you can read people like that without even having to know them, not even talking to them. Read them just like that. Like everything, your senses get so much enlightened, like everything, you just become enlightened, right? And that's why I teach this stuff, because if you can be a better person, why not, right? It just takes some discipline, some understanding, some things that you weren't taught. Because if you were taught these things, then you'd be a brighter, more high vibrating, intelligent species. And they don't want that. All right. And so let's go to the living form. Let's go to like our biology. Wait, did I do? Yeah, okay, I did that. Let's go to biology, biochemistry, and physiology. Biochemistry and biology at the molecular level, creation is a constant pairing. The DNA double helix relies on strict complementary base pairing, um, like adenine pairs with thymine or cytosine with guanine. A microcosm, a microcosm of molecular gender. Cellular respiration depends on the electron transport chain, where electrons are pushed along by donors, meaning masculine, and received by oxygen, the ultimate electron acceptor, female. Now we'll talk more why they got that like that later on, right? To generate ATP, which is a life energy. Now, you guys hear me talk all the time about, you know, eating healthy, watching what you put in your body, right? How the sun to the human, how energy transfers, how that energy from the sun comes to the human, and like how all that gets turned in. Like, okay, I'll go through it again. The sun has 5 different stages, and through the nuclear fusion, it pumps out CMEs, right? Them CMEs, them photons, come to Earth. When it comes to Earth, our Earth uses it for photosynthesis. Plants use it for photosynthesis, right? So that energy is being absorbed into the plants through photosynthesis. Animals eat those plants. We eat those plants, and the animals, they eat those plants. It's all about energy transfer, right? So now you have that energy that stems from the sun many, 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 many years ago and is now made to Earth, okay, through photosynthesis, through the plant, into the animal or into the human body. Now, once it gets into the human body, it gets turned into a glucose. That glucose then gets turned into exactly ATP, life energy. That ATP eventually gets turned into ADP and then recycled back into ATP. That's the whole 33 spine life honey thing. It's a lot. I'm not going to lay it on you right now because it's a lot. But when you go down that rabbit hole and you start to understand these things, life becomes a lot more clearer. You understand just how powerful you are. And so, where was I here? A microcosm of molecular gender, cellular respiration depends on the electron transport chain, right? That's in the DNA, where electrons are pushed along by donors, meaning masculine, the worker, right? The masculine, and received by oxygen, the ultimate electron acceptor, which is female, to generate ATP, which is our life energy. Now, in physiology, the human nervous system operates on this exact polarity through the atomic nervous system. The sympathetic nervous system drives the flight or fight response, the masculine expending energy to action, while the charismatic nervous system drives rest and digest, which is the feminine conserving energy, the healing. Perfect physical health requires the continuous rhythmic alternating dance between both the female and the male. The time to take action, the time to rest, right? Again, it's that balance. Now, let's look at codes, matrices, and society. Let's look at numerology and sociology. Numerology. Numbers carry innate energetic polarity. Odd numbers are traditionally viewed as masculine, active, disruptive, assertive, seeking a partner, while even numbers are feminine, stable, receptive, balancing, divisible. The geometric and energetic interplay of these numbers creates the foundational frequencies that construct our reality, hence computer code, hence code, the Fibonacci sequence, the Mandelbrot. I mean, I could go on and on, right? Code. Now, sociology. On the macro social scale, human cultures naturally fluctuate between these two energetic poles, a highly competitive, expansionist, rigid, and structural era reflects an inflation of the masculine principle. Conversely, eras focused on social safety nets, community integration, artistic expression, and environmental sustainability reflect a shift towards the feminine principle. Now, we'll move on to the veiled arts. The veiled arts. Cartomancy, witchcraft, and the occult knowledge. In cartomancy, which is tarot, okay, the deck is a psychological and spiritual map of gender. In the major arcana, the magician represents the focused, conscious will, directing energy downward, the masculine, while the high priestess represents the subconscious, the intuitive, hidden mystery holding the scroll of potential, the feminine. The minor suits split down the same lines: wands and swords, active fire, air, versus cups and pentacles, which is receptive, water, and earth. So now in witchcraft and in the occult knowledge, practical magic is the deliberate conscious manipulation of these dual forces. Rituals intentionally balance the athame, the wand, the projective tool of intent and direction that many of us use. With the chalice, the cauldron, the receptive vessel of the transformation and manifestation, to alter reality, an occultist must balance their inner mental will, masculine, with a complete surrender to the cosmic current, feminine, to allow the seed of intent to safely gestate and grow. And so when you look at gender, not just biologically through sex, like, oh, male and female, we understand as above, so below, the second Hermetic principle, right? That gender is in everything, not just biological sex. And so I got news for you. From what I found, and this is just my take on it, when you lose this flesh suit, you become like the Baphomet. You're male and female. Or you're neither. You're just electric, right? The world needs a balance. And so when you're born according to that balance, right? You're born according to the chemicals in the seed and what was strongest, which determines whether you're going to be a male or female. Ultimately, though, cosmically, it's a balance here on Earth, right? My take on this is before you're even born, your aura, your essence, your you, your spirit has already mapped out your journey here on Earth. How you're going to live, who your parents are, what you're going to do, even the hiccups that you're going to have in life, the bad times, right? All that. And then you pick all that out, you're done doing all that, boom, everything gets wiped clean. You start as this little micro anomaly that grows into this little human being that eventually gets pushed out through a viscapisca into a reality full of greedy, pedophilic, satanistic fucking freaks. Long story short, right? Now you have what they call free will. Now you are going to experience reality. You're going to experience pain. You're going to experience betrayal. You're going to experience happy times. You're going to experience euphoria. You're going to experience a lot, right? a lot of things you don't experience when you lose this flesh suit. This is a journey. We are here not to be docile, not to work, not to pay these fucking freaks, not to make them richer while we suffer. We're here to remember who the fuck we are. And it's about time we wake up. And it's about time we remember who we are. It's about time we come to a higher vibration, right? Start helping out those that don't understand. Help them come to a higher vibration. Start understanding these principles and how they play a role in your life. Don't be so quick to seek comfort and safety in the arms of Satanistic, pedophilic freaks that don't have your best interest at heart, no matter what they tell you. You ever hear of like con men, right? The guys get so duped so easy because you don't understand. You haven't eaten from that tree of knowledge. Long, 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 long time ago, years, they had the idea to switch the times and the seasons. We're not going by the universe. We're not going by the natural time clock of the day and the night. We're going to get humans off kilter. Why? Because then they're easier to control. They're more docile. When we want to run our experiments on them, they're not going to question nothing. They'll fight amongst themselves because the food that we feed them will make them so fucking crazy and insane. There'll be a chemical imbalance in their brain. They won't even know who the fuck they are. And that's the way they want it. And you let them, you even pay for it. You go along with it. But govern me harder, daddy. That's you. Let's wake up, right? Let's wake up and say enough. Let's take our control back. Stop being so afraid. People are so afraid of, oh my God, I'm going to die. You know what? You're going to die anyway. One day, whether it's now or later, you're still going to die. You're going to face that. Why? Because everybody faces that. Everybody. You're so afraid to die that you're going to pay Satanistic, pedophilic people for safety. I don't know how it feels to live in fear like that. I have lived in fear like that for years. Because I study, because I understand. I came out of that box of indoctrination. I understand that you can't be born of a rib, that life didn't start with just a man and a woman. Through science and evolution, it started as a microbial life form that went into hominids, that went into Neanderthals, that went into humanoids. You think life just stopped evolving because, hey, we're here paying our homage to senile pedophilic freaks? Like this is the end of evolution? No, it's not. Wake up. Start growing your own food. Start making your own clothes. Start making your own deodorant and shampoo and all that shit. Start looking out for you, because if you don't, nobody else is going to. That's obvious since 2020. If you ain't woke up since then, there's no hope for you. These principles are very, very important to one's life if they want to better their life, if they want to come outside that box of indoctrination and understand how the world works, how your body works, and how your body works versus the universe. Because let me tell you, like Carl Sagan said it the best, we are made of star stuff. So let me tell you something. You can get mad, you can get pissed off, shut the video off, or whatever, but you are one supernatural motherfucker, and you should wake up. Wake up. Wake up to the fact that you aren't just some docile human being sent here to live a life of hell. Life is not hell. I used to think life was hell. Like this was the ultimate hell. Like this is, why would you send me here? But it's not. When you understand the microcosm and the macrocosm, and you understand how the world works, and you understand reality, you understand that this is your journey. Your journey. Nobody's coming to save you but you. So buck up and be that man or that woman. Take your life back. Start growing your own food. Start making your own things. Start doing things for you and not the rich pedophilic motherfuckers in office and around the world that want to control you. There's a reason you're given a number at the beginning of your journey. There's a reason they want to put data centers in and monitor everything you do, right? There's a reason they don't teach you this stuff in school. Because if you knew who you were, well, then they've already lost. Already lost. All right, guys. Thanks for letting me rant. That was fun, right? And so this has been the 7 Hermetic principles, gender being the last one. Guys, understand that gender goes beyond biological sex. Okay? Just because it's not right or universally accepted, cosmically accepted that man and man, you know, don't fit. All right? I'm not even going into the sin part. Like, that's not even, like, that's fucking indoctrinated fairy tale bullshit, right? Universally speaking, cosmically speaking, reality speaking, right? Life continues through the process of a male and female, of a positive and a negative. Life stops continuing when it's a positive, positive, or a negative, negative. Now, I know we think that way, and we were made to think that way. Why? Because of the food they feed us. The food they feed us made us fucking retarded. A lot of us have a chemical imbalance in our brain because of the tests that they wanted to experiment on the human population, right? Let's be smarter than that. Let's wake up. Let's be that rebel. Come outside that box. Let's say enough is enough and no more. What would everybody do if they stopped paying their fucking taxes and then talked about the next year not paying their taxes? Man, horrible. Their world, right? Wall Street, bankers, all they would fall over. They'd lose it all. We'd stand up and the checkerboard would fall. But it's not going to happen until we all come together, until we all work together as a whole. Why? Because we understand these principles. We understand who we are. We understand that this division that's going on right now was created by them so that they could be the solution when it got too bad. All right, guys. My leg hurts and I need some medication, if you know what I mean, right? This has been a fun rant. I'd love to stay on here and rant some more and give you my opinion and, talk about all kinds of fun stuff like thermodynamics, iatromathematics, and quantum consciousness, and how it all has to do with the human body, and how it all mixes in with witchcraft and sorcery and the practices that I do that seem to work. And I thank the cosmos. I thank Source. I'm not gonna call him God. I'm calling Source, right? Source and those under Source that watch me every day, that guide me, right? And trust me, it ain't easy for them. I am not an easy person to guide or watch over or whatnot. Like they're probably pulling their hair out at the bar, drinking, doing whatever kind of spiritual drugs they can do. Like I'm serious. They're probably like this motherfucker. Like I can't do it no more. All right, guys, I love you. I'll see you on the next video. I don't know what we're gonna do after this. 7 Hermetic principles was the only thing I had in mind. If you have an idea or there's something that you want me to, go in detail or explain or try to explain or research and explain or whatnot, let me know. Leave a comment in the video. My comments should be on. I don't know. I haven't gotten comments in like 5 years. Nobody's commented on my videos. I don't think. Maybe one or two of you. I can't remember. But start leaving me comments, man. Start letting me know that you stopped by. You know. Hey, baby, there you are. I just seen you. Sorry, I wasn't even looking at the phone. I was looking at the screen, trying to keep track of what was going on. But if you're just seeing this video, if you're just tuning into my channel and like catching this video, stop this video. Go all the way back like 5 weeks ago, 6 weeks ago. Start from the principle of mentalism and work your way down through, and everything else will make sense once you get, especially once you get here. Everything else will definitely make sense. But the mentalism, the very first principle, is the key part because everything falls underneath that. Everything interconnects, right? And when you understand these principles and you put these principles into effect in your life, life gets better. That's all I can say. I'm not going to say it becomes a breeze and like, oh, it's the best time of your life. You're still going to have the struggles. That's the principle of polarity, right? You're going to have your ups and you're going to have your downs. We covered that a couple weeks ago. This pendulum swing to the left and swing to the right. Like we're going to have that, but it's on all how you handle. Do you prepare for the swing back, or do you just bitch and moan and complain when the swing comes back and you don't understand why, right? So again, I thank you all for tuning in tonight and watching my videos. Most likely watching my videos because of the algorithm. And I'm a very small channel. Not many people are into witchcraft and hermetics, and there's a lot more people out there that are more in detail with the hermetics and stuff. But I'm not just sticking to hermetics. I want to show you that it interconnects with everything, not just hermetics, not just thermodynamics or quantum consciousness or sociology or physiology or geometry. Like it's in everything. And when you can learn to determine that and decipher it and understand where it fits, life begins to fit easier. Hope that makes sense, guys. Right now I need to go medicate. I love you. I will see you next Thursday. I don't know what we're going to do. Hopefully y'all leave some comments and give me some ideas or whatnot. But go smoke, have fun, have a great weekend, and I will see you next Thursday.
If you're a seeker of hidden truths, then you need to dive into the world of the occult. Journey with us through ancient tomes and cryptic symbols as we explore the esoteric arts, sorcery, hermetics, iatromathematics, astrology, and sacred geometry. These disciplines have shaped human history, whispering secrets to those brave enough to listen. Imagine the alchemist's laboratory, filled with mysterious instruments and bubbling elixirs, where science and magic converge to reveal the hidden laws of nature. Picture the astrologer's chart, mapping the heavens to uncover the cosmic influences on our lives. What did the ancients know that we have forgotten? How did they use sacred geometry to unlock the secrets of the universe? And what truths lie hidden in the mystical texts of Hermeticism? These questions beckon us, inviting us to delve deeper into the unknown. Join us as we unveil the mysteries of the occult, where every symbol has meaning and every number carries a hidden message. Unlock your inner potential, transform your reality, and embrace the cosmic journey of self-discovery. Are you ready to explore the arcane and transcend the ordinary? Welcome to the world of sorcery and occult secrets. Let's begin this mystical journey together.